Hi, I'm Sheila L. Haidt, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week's astrology. And the first thing I want to say is Mercury retrograde is over, thank God. Unfortunately, all of the Mercury retrogrades aren't over, but this one is over. We do have some in the future, the next one starting at the end of February, but between now and then, whew. So I don't know about you, but was for me the gnarliest one I can remember in a lifetime. And now I'm picking up the pieces and starting to make sense of what I discovered, what I realized, what I resolved through the agony of Mercury retrograde. So now that we're moving forward, there are some other things we need to be aware of. This week, we're headed for, I've got my notes here. There are energies and events that last Mercury retrograde, and as we move towards the next one, in a way they foretold. They gave us an idea or a hint as to what would likely be happening. So where we need to do repair work, do it now. Where we need to shore up our structures, do it now. Because the next Mercury retrograde, if we're prepared, if we've done the work, will go more smoothly. If we haven't, we'll have to do the work of that Mercury retrograde plus what we haven't finished this time. So the other things, there are a couple of big things happening right now, and one of them is the planet Mars. The planet Mars is the planet of Mars is how we take action, how we get things done. It's also a planet related to aggression or assertiveness. So the planet Mars is what we call out of bounds. And what that simply means is that Mars doesn't pay any attention to the rules or to the structure. It makes up its own. Almost any planet can do that. However, when Mars, the planet of perhaps aggression, certainly how we take action, decides to go on its own, to go rogue, to go out of bounds, anything can happen that leads to perhaps things that weren't broken, but get broken and need to be fixed, that maybe activating, because Mars has to do with activation, has to do with activating something that is better left quiet. So I'll just read you a little bit about what I've got about Mars out of bounds, but basically it's about watch yourself. Be more in control of you and how you operate in the world. So when a planet is out of bounds, its behavior is unpredictable. When Mars is out of bounds, people, and that means you too, can be more assertive or aggressive or impulsive. In other words, you don't know what they're going to do. And since Mars is the planet of doing, when it's out of bounds, you don't know how it's going to show up or what people are going to do. Mars is currently in Sagittarius. That's a fire sign. So with Mars and a fire sign, I'll say it again, we must be careful to control our emotions and not allow anger to get in the way and not allow anger to direct our actions. Because boy, talk about messiness and a need to clean up. Then Thursday, the thing we've been waiting, actually we will by the time we get to Thursday, have been waiting all week for, is also volatile. And volatile is kind of the word for the week anyway, with Mars out of bounds, with Mercury finally going direct. Action is being taken and volatility is paramount. So Thursday, we will have not the new moon, but the full moon. So when the moon is full, that's already an emotional time. That's already a potentially aggressive time. It's already something that's out of our control if we are not mindful and careful. So this whole week, the theme is similar. Be mindful and be careful, because bigger things want to run the show. Bigger things, Mars, out of bound Mars, the moving forward of Mercury, the full moon. And this full moon brings with it an aspect called the moon square the nodes. So a square is a frictional aspect, means that something is bumping against something, and what needs to happen is both sides need to agree. So the moon's nodes are not planets, but they are very important points. And they're important because of our behavior in this lifetime, and important because they also show us the behavior from past lifetimes. Therefore, anytime that nodes are involved, then it's a karmic situation. And the moon is a karmic planet. So you've got a karmic planet really stoking the fires of a karmic situation, the moon's nodes. And then you bring the sun, the life force. The sun is also a fire planet. You're bringing a lot of volatility to one place at one time. So the thing to do is to be very much aware that you have a chance to release old karma. You have a chance to build or rebuild new positive karma by being mindful. So I am going to read you what I've written. The full moon will be square the moon's nodes at 13 degrees Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. So all of those points are going to be affected. Now there are 30 degrees in every sign, so about midway through. So those people who were born about midway through their particular sign, especially if they were the mutables, and that would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, then you have to be very careful to maintain a sense of equilibrium during this time, because the full moon anyway is very emotional. And then, of course, we still have Mars out of bounds, and now we've got the moon, the sun, square the nodes. It's wild. And the mutable planets, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, are very much connected to communication. And so we have to be very careful with what we think and what we say, because that is really super important during this full moon. So the moon's nodes are linked. They're always linked to karmic situations. So this is a time to shed, to release, to let go of old karmic habits, surrender. It's really the best way. How do you let go of old karmic habits and patterns? You become mindful of what does work and what does not work, of what works well and what doesn't work well. And what doesn't work, in all probability, let it go. It's not about, oh, I want it, or I need it, or I'm used to it. It doesn't work. Let it go. What doesn't work well? An honest appraisal of, can this be repaired or adjusted? And if it can't, or if you have to jump through hoops to do it, let it go. It's karma. Let it go. You don't have to carry it around with you forever. Let it go. So what you need to do is you need to be aware that because the moon's nodes, which are the karmic axis, and the full moon, which is the here and now, plus bringing in karma from the past and paving the road to the future, are all immutable signs. Mutability is not only about communication, it's about movement and flow. And this gives us an opportunity to be clear about how we want our lives to go, what we want and what we don't want in our lives. So pay attention, be mindful, be grounded, watch your emotions. And because it's the full moon, please make moon water. The full moon isn't until Thursday. However, it's Sunday, so you have plenty of time. Tonight's a good idea. Tomorrow at the latest, get a cup, some sort of vessel, fill it with water, set it where it can get the rays of the moon. It doesn't have to be in a window. because the rays of the moon and the sun can come through solid walls, and set it where this cup of water can get the rays of the moon. Leave it there until 2 or 3 days after the full moon, and thereafter you can drink it, or you can give it to your pets. They love it. Or you can water plants with it. They also love it. So use this to energize yourself and to help remind all of your senses that it's a new day. It's time for new karma and time to release old karma. So on that note, have a powerful and phenomenal full moon, Mercury going direct, and everything working out according to the way you know it needs to work out for you. So do what you can to stay a part of the great gift that this time is now. This is an emotional time. We're going into emotional season, but you stay grounded. And if you start thinking, would this be a good time to wear ankle weights? The answer is yes. It would be a good time to wear ankle weights. Not only does it strengthen your calf muscles, it reminds you always, it reminds you to stay grounded. So, bye.